Time for quarterfinal number 2 here in the compound women's competition, and a big one. Youngest stage winner in history in the lineup for this quarterfinal.
And now, please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the compound women quarterfinal matchup number 2.
So the second quarterfinal of the compound women's competition, the judge and the archers are out. Let's go to the shooting line for the athlete introductions.
On target number 1, representing the United States of America, Liko Arreola. On target number 2, representing the Republic of Korea, Cho Su A. The line judge for this matchup is Carlos Alberto Cervantes Barrera.
Well, what a lineup we have got. Arreola, the youngest stage winner in history, taking Medellin gold at her only event in her debut senior season. Very popular on the circuit already, but seems to have ice running through her veins on the shooting line. Cho Su A only entered 2 circuit events in her debut season, and she won the Shanghai leg. Will Italian coach Pagni's effect pay off here in Hermosillo? It will be Cho Su A to get quarterfinal number 2 underway.
Nine. Nine.
I was about to say that. We saw both archers shooting 9 slightly to the left, and Liko is still there. We see coach giving her some feedback.
Nine. Well, there it is. The first 3 arrows have been shot on both sides of the field of play.
Momentum swung back to Arreola. It's always good to finish the end with a 10, to walk into the next end knowing that you know exactly where to be aiming to start the next end. While Joe, she had a very good group. I think it's just a matter of moving the sight a little bit, and then she'll be back with the 10. I don't see anything quite defined just yet in this match.
Cho Su A, stage winner in Shanghai in the People's Republic of China, 12 wins and 3 losses all throughout the season as well. So 80% the win rate there, with a few more matches indeed for Cho Su A this season. 28-28, moving into end number 2.
For sure, Cho was the 4th in the Korean squad this year, so it means she didn't get to go to the World Championships in Berlin. And funnily enough, she's the only one who made the final. But yeah, we didn't get to see a lot of her this season.
All square at the start of the second.
10. Nine.
seems lost, Cho. She doesn't know where to aim, and it feels awful when you are on the stage on such a match, and this happens.
8.
Wow. If Cho seems lost, that 8 is a big surprise.
Despite some movement with her bow arm, in the end she managed to get an axe. Crucial at this moment.
This arrow, another important one for Liko Arreola.
9.
It's the 9 for 27, so she falls behind by a single point. But Bernardo, I think really, we talked about the heat here, we talked about the humidity and how draining it's going to be, but there was some rumour earlier on today that for the first time perhaps here in Hermosillo, we're seeing the wind being a massive factor. It's a tight range, isn't it?
Yeah, very tight, and when you have trees and especially buildings so close by, the wind can behave in a very weird way. Because we're used to shooting so many competitions in the wide open, and then the wind can be pretty predictable. You know, it just blow in this direction or in that direction. But when you have buildings and trees around, at different points of the range, you might have the wind go in different directions, and then you don't know in which part it's affecting the most the arrow, and then it can be really tricky to read into that.
Well, that was the 8 from Arreola, and the reaction. A curious second end, and Cho leads by 1.
9. 10.
Both archers seem pretty uncomfortable with air shots. Arreola, even when she shot that axe in the previous end, she didn't seem to be happy with it.
10.
Yeah, still shaking her head, despite the arrow getting the highest score.
10.
Starting to look a little bit more comfortable, Cho Su A. An amazing group for the first 2 arrows of the end for her.
10.
29. Whatever's going wrong, it's not going too wrong for the American. Long hold.
10, 10,
But the group remains good, and a perfect 30 from Cho Su A, and she opens up that lead. Yes, tricky times for both of them by the looks of things. We've got to assume the wind is the thing that's playing or being the difficulty for them. You can see the nerves and the shakiness in the hand of Cho Su A, but she's just started to look a tiny bit more comfortable.
Absolutely. Most importantly, we've seen her smile after her 2 previous shots, and I think this just goes to show that she's feeling a little bit more comfortable. She's enjoying herself. Another important thing, very interesting in this competition, and I believe we'll be seeing with so many athletes, we see with Cho, it's her club coach that is with her, not the Korean national coach. It's her professional club she represents in Korea, and we even see Mel Nichols of the United States. Hadn't seen him in the circuit for a long time with Arreola. Great coach, and I think just having this familiar face can make a big difference in this moment.
Confidence boosting 10 from the teenager.
9.
And has claimed back one of the points that she trailed by.
9.
Not comfortable at all. Arreola, as soon as she released, she knew it wasn't a good shot.
9.
Advantage not grabbed though. The opportunity was there to reopen the lead.
9.
Just outside.
Eight or 9.
Well. Potentially the second 8 of this
three,
quarterfinal. Arreola shot
Cho Su A
an 8 in
from
the
my
second
vantage position with a view
end.
from
Now it's
underneath
Cho's
the
turn.
target. It certainly looks like an 8.
It's almost
but
like
our track team spotters
neither of them
telling
want to
me
win
now
it.
is
It's a tough thing to say. Of course, they both want to win it, but
validation
they're both
arrow.
struggling, and
Looking
they're kind of
strong
almost
for
taking
Cho Su A
turns.
with a 132,
Yeah, I wanted to say that,
112
but I was afraid to say it first, and now that you've said it, but
9
yeah, it's
indeed.
like
So
everybody,
+1 in favor of
both
the green
archers giving each other chances, and nobody really capitalizing.
Perhaps it's securing passage into
What
the
to do? Like
semifinals,
at some point it seemed that everything was lost for Arreola, but she's very much in the match, and we know that both of these archers, they are very much capable of shooting a 30 in the last end. So, but it's not very likely. I have no idea which way this is going to go.
Well, it looks like we've had confirmation that Cho Su A's last arrow was another 9 for a 27 there. So she still holds on to that 1 point lead. 113 plays 112. But in all seriousness, there is a genuine psychological issue with a fear of winning. It can become all-consuming. Final end of this curious match, and a big twitch there before the arrow went off.
That's not good at all, but she managed to score a 10 just the same. Doesn't matter how you did it as long as it's there.
Nine.
So all square with 2 arrows to go.
10.
Still not looking very happy with her shots, Arreola.
A lot of pressure on that arrow though, and Cho Su A got the 10 she needed to stay level. So after 14 arrows, the match all square. Can the winner be decided with the last arrows of the match?
10, 10,
A perfect finish, you called it, Bernardo, and Liko Arreola delivered a 142. Cho Su A now needing a 10 to stay in the competition. Huge pressure on this one. Oh, she's got it into the 10 as well. And the smile says it all. A 142 plays a 142 in the second. And we are going to go to a shoot-off, the first one of these finals. So for those who don't know, the targets will be clean, new faces will be put up, and we'll have 1 arrow to decide who goes through this compound women's competition quarter-final.
It is now a single.
Bernardo, what a match so far, though. Leveled up in the final end.
Gripping, not the highest level for sure, but it was gripping just the same. And we sort of already had a shoot-off, right? Like the whole match came down to 1 last arrow. Arreola set the tone with the 10, and then Cho had to match, and she did it brilliantly. But we could see the pressure mounting up on her in this last arrow. She was blinking, she was holding for too long, as she did with many previous shots, and then we even saw her bowing down, kind of leaning on her bow in relief. I don't know how she's going to be feeling for this shoot-off, because this is when she's got to be sharp, but maybe she's got all kinds of feelings on her head right now.
Is it not the case that both of them are kind of going to be thinking, crikey, I forced a shoot-off here, both of them?
Both of them had a part in this, yeah, of course.
But I mean, you know, it's almost like a little sense of relief that they've made it to the shoot-off, and they've got a second chance, both.
Yeah, I just hope Arreola feels happier with her shooting, you know. She doesn't seem comfortable at all in any moment in this match, while we saw Cho at least, you know, enjoying herself a little bit. But wow, it's really hard to tell, because both of them swinging back and forth, and okay, now it comes down to 1 arrow and closes to the center winners.
What a second quarterfinal we have here. It's come down to a 16th shoot-off arrow between Arreola and first up, Cho Su A. Oh, that is a very, very good arrow. It is a 10. It looks like it's just hit the X-ring. Arreola needs something special. It's another 10, but it's not close enough. And Cho Su A, subject to confirmation from the target judge, but I think, Bernardo, we can safely say Cho Su A has done it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, it's just a formality of getting to the target, have both agents of both archers agree that the Cho won, but we can pretty much say with confidence that she won. Her shot, she was shaking in the end, but most importantly, she managed to direct her bow arm in a very good way, something that she didn't do in many of her shots that were out of the 10, but in the one that really mattered, she nailed it despite shaking a little bit, and there she gets the reward. She's into the final 4.